Pol Pot, born Saloth Sar, was a Cambodian revolutionary and politician who served as the Prime Minister of Cambodia from 1976 to 1979. He led the Khmer Rouge regime, which was responsible for the deaths of an estimated 1.5 to 2 million people during its brutal reign. Pol Pot was born in 1925 in the small village of Prek Sbauv in central Cambodia. He was educated in Phnom Penh and later traveled to France to study radio electronics. While in France, he became involved in communist politics and joined the French Communist Party. Upon his return to Cambodia in the early 1950s, Pol Pot became involved in the Cambodian Communist Party, which was part of a broader communist movement in Southeast Asia. In the 1960s, he led a faction of the party that became known as the Khmer Rouge. The Khmer Rouge gained power in Cambodia in 1975, after a long and bloody civil war. Pol Pot became the leader of the country, and he immediately began implementing a radical communist agenda. He declared that Cambodia would be transformed into an agrarian utopia, and he ordered the forced evacuation of all cities and towns. Over the next few years, Pol Pot's regime implemented a series of policies that led to the deaths of millions of Cambodians. Intellectuals, professionals, and members of ethnic and religious minorities were targeted for extermination. The regime also engaged in mass executions, forced labor, and torture. Pol Pot's regime was eventually overthrown by Vietnamese forces in 1979, and he fled to the Cambodian jungle. He remained in hiding for many years, but he was eventually arrested by his own followers and turned over to the Cambodian government. He died in 1998 while under house arrest. Pol Pot's legacy is one of brutality and genocide. His regime was responsible for one of the worst atrocities of the 20th century, and its impact on Cambodia is still felt today. Despite this, Pol Pot remains a controversial figure, with some admirers arguing that he was a revolutionary hero who attempted to build a new society from the ground up. In the end, however, Pol Pot's legacy is one of darkness and suffering. His regime left a scar on Cambodia that will take many years to heal, and his name is forever associated with one of the greatest tragedies of modern history. Pol Pot quotes. Pol Pot, the leader of the Khmer Rouge regime in Cambodia, was not known for his speeches or public statements. However, here are 5 quotes attributed to him. "To spare you is no profit, to destroy you is no loss." This quote speaks to Pol Pot's brutal and ruthless nature. He saw people as expendable, and was willing to use any means necessary to achieve his goals, even if it meant the loss of innocent lives. Better to kill an innocent by mistake than spare an enemy by mistake. This quote further illustrates Pol Pot's disregard for human life. He believed that the ends justified the means, and that any action, no matter how extreme or cruel, was justified if it served the ultimate goal of the revolution. Our movement is like a forest. The old trees are cut down and the young shoots take their place. Our movement is rejuvenated and refreshed constantly. This quote speaks to the Khmer Rouge's ideology of constant revolution. Pol Pot believed that the old ways must be destroyed and replaced with new, revolutionary ideas and practices. We must completely destroy the old order, the old culture, and the old habits. Only then can we build the new Cambodia. This quote highlights Pol Pot's desire to create a new society from the ground up. He believed that the only way to achieve this was to completely destroy the existing social, cultural, and political structures in Cambodia. "I'm quite modest. I don't want to tell people I'm a genius." This quote, while seemingly light-hearted, also speaks to Pol Pot's sense of self-importance. Despite the horrific atrocities committed under his leadership, he saw himself as a visionary leader and revolutionary hero. Overall, these quotes offer a glimpse into Pol Pot's twisted worldview and his willingness to use any means necessary to achieve his goals, no matter the cost in human lives. We appreciate your support in watching our videos. If you enjoy learning about political, business, writer and science leaders' biographies and quotes, please consider subscribing to our channel and giving us a thumbs up to help us grow and continue bringing you valuable content.